Welcome back to my channel, Pages and Stitches. That's spelled pages, the number 3 stitches, both here and on Instagram. My name is Kelly and this is Hef, and we're very happy to be with you today for my 25th Quilters Corner update. Today is Saturday, December 2nd. And so I'm going to share with you all the things that I've accomplished within the month of November that is quilt related. I had to give this one attention because he has a tendency to request it right when I start filming. So I figured I may as well just like kill two birds with one stone, right? Do you want to say hi to the people? You want to say hello? Say I'm a needy baby, greedy baby. Okay. All right. Go be a good boy. So like I said, today is my 25th Quilters Corner update, and for the month of November, I did a lot. So I have a pretty like juicy update for you today. It's probably going to be a long video, honestly. So get a drink, get comfy, watch it in parts if you must. But yeah, I think I have a lot to share with you today. First and foremost, at the beginning of the month, November 3rd, maybe 3rd, 4th, one of those days, I went to the International Quilt Festival, which is an annual quilt festival that's hosted in Houston. It is both a competition and show for quilts, as well as an opportunity to go shopping at a bunch of vendors. So I did that, and I have a ton of stuff to share with you from that experience. So not only do I have a good chunk of haul, I took a bajillion pictures and some video, and I will be posting all of that at the end of the video. So if you're at all interested in some of the things that I saw there, stick around at the end. After I say goodbye, I'll post all that, or I'll add all that stuff to the end of the video so you can check it out. And then in addition to that, I just did a ton of quilting this month. Like, I made a bunch of progress. As you can see behind me, I've got not one, but 2 new quilts on the wall. I had 2 new starts. I finished a quilt top. So I just had a ton of progress. I was feeling extra quilty in November. So before we get into everything, let me just start by saying a massive thank you to everybody who's here. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. You know, I appreciate your visits every single time. And then if you're new here, thank you so much for checking me out. Whether or not you came from, you know, somebody else's recommendation, somebody else's channel, or you just found me randomly on your suggested videos and you decided to give it a try. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. I love the quilty community that we've sort of started to create and collect here on YouTube, in addition to FlossTube. And I'm very grateful. You know, here in America, we just had Thanksgiving, which is a holiday to express your thanks and your gratitude. And I want to make sure you guys know that I'm very thankful and grateful for you and your friendship. So thank you for being here. So like we normally do, I want to start out with my reading update. If you are new here, the Pages and Stitches is representative of my third passion, which is reading. So at the beginning of my videos, I like to give a little update on the books that I have read for the last month, not necessarily a review. I just want to show you what I'm looking at, what I've been reading. And then of course, if you are coming here after having watched my FlossTube video, you can skip past this part because it's the same books. So I only have 1 physical book, and the rest I'm going to insert pictures for because I read them all on Kindle. But the first book that I read this month is this one here, Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. Ooh, look at the shine. So pretty. So a lot of people in our little corner of the internet have kind of spread the word about Rebecca Yarros's Fourth Wing. And they've all been reading that recently. I read it, loved it last month. This is the sequel, Iron Flame. So if you loved that book, go snatch this one up because it's pretty good too. Next, I read this book here. This is Sugar and Skulls by L.M. Terry. It's a motorcycle club romance and the first in that series. Next, if you have been with me for a while, you may remember that I had read this book, which is called Axel by Samantha Whiskey. This is the first in a hockey romance series. I read that one a while ago, and then this last month I followed it up with the next 3, which are Sawyer, Connell, and Logan. I love a good hockey romance. So I knocked out the next 3. There's, I think, currently 10 total in that series. So there's more to enjoy. All right, let's get into the quilting, shall we? Like I said, I have tons of fun stuff to share with you today. I have a quilt top finish, some whip updates, 2 new starts, tons of yummy haul that I got from the quilt show. And then we'll go over plans, and then I'll show you the quilt festival footage, and then we'll be done. So I'm drinking coffee between cuts. I just want to show you this mug. It's one of my favorites. I love Queen and I love llamas, so this is the perfect mug. So the first thing I want to show you is my quilt top finish, which if you were here last time is probably no surprise to you because it was on the quilt design wall, and it was my intention to finish the top, and I did. So that is this quilt here. I'm going to insert a picture because it's all folded up currently on my hanger ready to take to the long armor. This is Cocktail Hour by Tilda. It's a free pattern that you can get from tildasworld.com, and I, of course, will have it linked down below. I'll have everything I can linked down below. Instead of using Tilda's fabric, I used Fluent, a fat quarter bundle of Fluent, which is aligned by my favorite designer, fabric designer at the moment, which is Anna Maria Horner. So as you can see from the picture, it's done. I finished the top, and it's great. I love it. It's super bright. It's super fun, and I'm very happy with it. It was my intention whenever I went to the quilt show to find a fabric for the backing, but I don't know, they were limited in terms of like their yardage that they brought to the show. A lot of, you know, vendors who travel, they're going to bring a bunch of pre-cuts and patterns and stuff, not big bolts of fabric. So I didn't find one, but I just had to order it from an online store, and I will show you here. This is the backing fabric I got. So there's the quilt all folded up and ready to go. The backing fabric is also an Anna Maria Horner print. It is not from the line Fluent. This is called Echinacea Glow, I think. So this print, this Echinacea print, comes in a bajillion different colors. Her Glow line is a darker colorway with kind of more bright neon-y colors in them. And I thought it was perfect as the back for my quilt because the line Fluent has all these different colors in it, the yellows, the oranges, and the pinks. And I loved the way the echinacea flowers are tapered. And that's the same way the layout of the girls in Cocktail Hour is. So I thought it was just kind of perfect. And it was still, you know, AMH. Love my AMH. So yeah, this is all folded up. It's ready to go. And so this is it. Sorry, those flowers are upside down. Here's it right side up. It's ready to go. I am actually filming this video right before I take it to my long armor. Like after I stop recording, I'm walking out the door. So by the time we come back from my December update at the end of the year, then this should be a finish. So the fabric here I got from, I didn't get it from Fat Quarter Shop because a lot of the Echinacea Glow fabric has been sold out everywhere, but I found it on Hawthorne Supply Company's website. So I'll have them. I usually have a good chunk of online shops linked down below just so people can kind of shop around if they're looking for something specific. So Hawthorne Supply Company will be linked down below. And they shipped it same day. It was so fast. I bought 5 yards. I think they had a bunch left over. I don't know. Maybe people just don't know about Hawthorne Supply Company. You know, I think Fat Quarter Shop kind of has the market cornered, but there's other shops you can go to if you're hunting around, right? So yeah, they shipped it to me same day. It was wonderful. And then while we're on the subject of quilts that are going to my long armor, the other quilt that I'm taking, I'm actually getting 2 done this month, which is super exciting. She called me and told me she had a cancellation, and so there was room for me to get 2 done, and I have 2 for her. So I'm also bringing, of course, my Bauhaus that I did with my Tula neons and the minky backing. So that's really exciting because not only will I have 2 finishes, hopefully, ideally at the end of December, I will be able to experience the minky backing. So whenever you do a quilt with minky backing, you can forego the batting in the middle because the minky serves as like the backing as well as the squishy cushion too. I think it's a little bit more lightweight, but it's also super warm because it's minky. So awesome. I'll let you guys know what my experience is with this material. I'll tell you what, sewing with it, like piecing this together, and then I also did my, I'll insert a picture. I also did my Christmas tree skirt in minky. It's a nightmare, but the effect is really good. Okay, my next whip update is this quilt here. This quilt is called Christmas Potpourri. It's a sampler that I am converting into bright neon prints, which I am lovingly referring to as my acid trip sampler. You guys in the comments helped me name it. And I will insert a picture of what they look like all together. Obviously, I don't have the room on my design wall right now, but I finished block number 5 for this quilt. And so here's what they look like all laid out together. And I'm gonna grab number 5 so we can look at it up close. Okay, here's 5. Pretty, pretty. I really love this star. Now, this star was originally supposed to be paper pieced, but the pattern that I'm borrowing from my mother does not have those paper pieces in there, so I had to kind of like figure it out on my own. So, I mean, it was easy enough. I've done stars before. This was pretty simple. So, but I love the little teal star there. And then we got some more flying geese, some half square triangles, quarter square triangles, and then just like a lot of bright fun prints. So if you are unfamiliar, I'm trying to do this not only as like a bright scrappy looking sampler, but also a little bit like of an I Spy element to it. So I try to put my cuts around fun prints within the fabric. Y'all, is anyone else like this? I'm really weird about fussy cutting my fabric because I feel like it's so wasteful. So I will intentionally like find motifs that are on the borders of the fat quarter or whatever the cut of fabric is, so that I'm just like saving as much as possible. I just feel really bad, like I'm literally butchering my fabric when I fussy cut from the middle. Whatever. Anyways. So here, this is a Melody Miller print. This is from her line Rise. And then most everything else is like Tula, Tula, Tula. That's Tula. A lot of those prints in the middle are Tula. That bird there is from her Everglow line. We got these Alice in Wonderland hats. There's some more Tula down there. That crane is from a Ruby Star Society line. I love the little snail there. So yeah, there's block number 5. It's awesome. And if you can see, so when it's laid out underneath block 2, these flying geese go down and then they go over, like it's like they travel, right? The bottom of that little line of flying geese is here in this block. So they go down and then they go over. I thought that was pretty cool when I saw them all laid out together. So the next whip that I worked on is this one here. So this is this pattern here. This is called Set Sail by Jaybird Quilts. And I am using the line Rise by Melody Miller, excuse me, for Ruby Star Society, and I'm supplementing various coordinating spark prints. The print is called Spark from Ruby Star as the frames around the diamonds. And I'm also not doing the set sail pattern as it is designed necessarily, because all of the blocks, or excuse me, all the diamonds are in different kind of shapes with different styles in the middle. I'm literally just doing one big solid diamond for each of my diamonds to feature the giant prints that I got from that line. They're so pretty and I love them. And as a reminder, this quilt is made with the Super Sidekick ruler. It is not necessary completely that you purchase this ruler. You can purchase any diamond cutting ruler or 60-degree angle cutting ruler, or you can simply use your 60-degree line on your cutting mat. And your straight rulers, those all come with a 60-degree line on them. This ruler just makes it super easy. So last time I had shown it to you, I had just done the sort of pink colorways of the diamonds and then the white colorways of the diamonds. So the pink ones have light pink, hot pink, and like a dark burnt orange as the border colors. The white colorway has the light orange, light blue, and then this sort of mustardy gold brown as the borders. And so in the last month, I doubled the cuts of those two colors, and then I added my blue colorway, which has a bright blue, navy blue, and white border around those. So I'll grab those blocks so you can see what they look like up close. Okay, so here is the white one. You can see this form of spark has actual kind of sparkly stars on it. And look at the glow on that gold. So this is the navy kind of colorway of the snake print. Isn't that stunning? I just love this fabric. And then here is the smaller floral with the bright blue frame around it. Again, look at that shine. Like I just kind of drooled over this fabric, and then I hesitated to do a quilt with it for, God, 2 years because I just was scared to cut into it. It's just so pretty. And then here is the navy frame. This one's cool because it's got like a bright blue star on it. And then there's the bigger snake print in the middle. Altogether, these colors are very like retro to me with almost a modern twist, because there's aspects of it that look very like 70s, right? So you got like your dark mustards and your dark oranges. And then there's a little bit of like an 80s vibe too, because you're starting to get some neons, and then you got this like kind of these kind of colors in here that are very, they just make me think 70s, 80s. And so altogether, it's just like a fun little color palette. Part of the reason why I love Melody Miller so much is the way that she incorporates her color choices, especially these neons. I just think they look so freaking pretty. And this is actually the second quilt that I've done entirely in Melody Miller fabrics. The first one, I'll insert a picture, of course. The first one is the Stay Gold panel quilt that I did recently. One of my favorite quilts I've ever done. And so now I'm following it up with another Melody Miller. And of course, as a reminder, I'm sure I'll get a question if I don't say this. This fabric line really is no longer available because I bought it, like I said, basically 2 years ago. You can't really get the line anymore, so sorry if you like it. Okay, so now let's get into my new starts. I have 2 new starts, and they were the 2 that I said that I wanted to start this last month, so I was really good and completed all of my goals this last month. So the first one is this one here. This is My Favorite Colors Moda by Moda. This is what the finished quilt looks like here. And I am using a color palette that is entirely navies, golds, and creams. And the first block I did was this big guy here. Now, you wouldn't believe it, but the dimensions of this block alone are 36 inches by 36 inches. It's a 3-foot block. So this is a big quilt. Like you can see the finished size is 81 by 99. Like it's basically a king size quilt, maybe a tiny bit smaller. It's pretty ginormous. And so like this block in and of itself can be a baby quilt. So let me step back so you can maybe see the whole thing. Yeah, this is the block. It's giant. So here, let's bring it in close so you can see what I've used. So So we got this sort of, a lot of these prints have gold metallics. You guys know I'm a sucker for gold metallics. So there's that one. We got the sunshines. This is another Ruby Star designer. Her name is Rashida Coleman. I'll insert her name here. It's Rashida Coleman something is her full name. And she's an excellent designer. I love her stuff. So we got our little suns and stars. And then lots. This is entirely a half square triangle block. And all of the fabrics are like celestial. So your suns, your moons, your stars. Lots of sparkles. Right in the middle, we've got the sparkly dots. So yeah, this is block number 1. And I feel like I'm only 5'3". This covers in a pinch. This would keep my lap warm, just this block alone. I'm not necessarily assigning a fabric to a color in the pattern. I'm kind of improvising as I go because I have a lot more fabrics than what the pattern calls for. So I'm just kind of choosing however many colors are in that block and laying it out the way I want to. And so it's kind of a surprise, or like this block, the way it finished was kind of a surprise, which it's okay because I'm seeing it in my head, and so far it's coming out sort of like my vision. So hopefully that keeps up, right? Yeah, it looks good. I'm loving it. Alrighty, moving right along. My next new start is this quilt here. This is called Stars Hollow by Missouri Star Quilt Company. I'm stitching this with the line Moonlit Garden by Andover Fabrics, or from Andover Fabrics. I don't remember the designer's name, but I'll insert it right here. And then the backing fabric is a peach and cream dot that I got from Joann's. And so far, I'll insert a picture here. This is what it looks like so far. I just did 4 blocks and they look so cute. I love this. I love my fabric choice. Sometimes you pick a fabric line because you know it's gonna look cute, like you just know. But then once you actually put it together, it exceeds your expectations. And I feel like that's what this quilt is doing for me. It looks so cute and I'm so in love with it. I'm going to grab the blocks so we can see them up close. Okay, here's the first one. This beautiful corally pink. So this is coming across quite orange in the screen. It's actually more of a salmony pink color. It leans a little less orange with this kind of minty green accent. Then we have this one here. This one has the darker green moth print in the middle. Now, I know you're probably thinking, well, Kelly, why didn't you fussy cut around the moths? Because it's a layer cake quilt and there's almost no fabric waste. So I had to just kind of go with where the pieces landed. You know what I mean? I did get some pretty flowers in there though. And then this sort of, it almost looks like ginkgo leaves, but I think it's just flowers. This sort of lighter limey green is the accent. This one's really pretty with the white creamy accent with the little botanical flowers in the middle, and then the sort of like tiled flowers and leaves on the bigger print. Beautiful. And there's this one here. So we've got the sort of like darker teal leafy print and this more limey green floral kind of stripe almost as the accent. Very cool. And all together, they just look fabulous. I love it. So that was my whip updates for this past month. That was a lot, right? I'm very pleased with the progress that I made. Hopefully for December, I can keep banging out some really great progress. So come back in a month and we'll see if I was able to be just as quilty. The next thing I want to show you is some haul, and I also got a little bit of happy mail that I'm very excited to share with you. A few videos back, I had done a mini practice quilt, a mini one block wonder quilt that I just did for some practice. And a very sweet, very kind viewer reached out to me via email, and she said that she would like to have it to make into a baby quilt for her grandbaby. And she was so generous. She purchased it from me. I was going to give it to her. She wanted to give me sort of compensation for it, which was so kind. So I sent that to her, and I sent her some extra fat quarters that I thought maybe she could play around with, and she made a bunch of like trinket bags and stuff out of those fat quarters. They look fantastic. And her name is PJ, and so I just wanted to give a major shout out and massive thank you to PJ. But then she surprised me again when she sent back a gift to me, and I was kind of blown away by it. So first thing, she sent me this gorgeous little Halloween card. She had sent it at the end of October, but I'm really crap about checking my mail, so I didn't get it until like the beginning of November, which is why it's in this update. But she handmade this beautiful Halloween card, which is so, look at it. Look at that glittery Halloween. You got the slimies and the spider webs and the little vellum ghosties at the top. This has been attached to my refrigerator, PJ, because it's so freaking cute. And she wrote me the loveliest note on the inside. I love it. So, and then on top of that, her daughter works for a company, I believe it's called Larissa Loden or Loden. I think it's Loden. I don't know actually. Which is a jewelry retailer. And she sent me some earrings. And I was just like, oh my God, that's so nice. And so PJ, I'm wearing your earrings. So she sent me 2 sets. They are a little bit spicy, a little bit modern, because that's kind of her impression of me, which I think is super cute. She sent me 1 set where the earrings say scary, and 1 set where the earrings say bitch. So what I'm doing is I'm wearing them both. This ear, let me see if I can get it. There we go. Where's the glare? This one says scary. This one says bitch. So I put them together. So I'm a scary bitch. That cracked me up when I saw it. So thank you so much, PJ. I love it. You nailed my sense of humor. And I just can't get over how generous that was. You're so kind. I have worn the scary earrings to work, but I don't think I'll be able to wear the bitch earrings. But I can wear them now, right? I don't have to be professional for my patients, so I can wear them now. Thank you, PJ. You're so kind. The next little bit of happy mail that I got came from a super dear friend whom I love so much, and she just surprised me out of the blue with this, and I nearly broke down at her generosity because it was just so sweet. She didn't have to think of me, and she did. So, and that's Amy of Fiber Arts Amy. Love you, Amy. You're such a doll. So if you're unfamiliar with her, I will have her channel tagged down below. She has recently started her own fabric dyeing business where she hand dyes cross-stitch fabric, but then she's also started dyeing quilting cotton because she's a quilter too. So I'm just so impressed with her. And she put together the most beautiful fat quarter bundle and sent me one. You guys, you're not ready. Look at this. Look at this bundle. Oh my God. This is amazing. This is so amazing. So, God, I don't even know what I'm going to do with them yet, but I have a fat quarter of these beautiful colors, and I cannot wait to find a project for them. I'm going to find something super special. I'm just so excited. So I don't have the names of the colors written down in front of me, but I will go through them one by one and insert the colors at the bottom of the screen, because currently I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Amy, currently you can only buy these individually. However, I did ask her if she's planning on selling a fat quarter bundle of all of these, and her answer is yes. Eventually, they will be a fat quarter bundle for you to purchase on her website, which is oakcrownstudios.com, which, of course, I will have linked down below. So here's this first one. Again, the titles will be down here. This is this beautiful, like, light lilac purple. Then we've got the, look at how stunning, like this kind of magenta purple. Pink here. I know this one's called Maggi for sure because it's named after her friend Maggie, who is Kitschy Whips. Maggie, I will have your channel linked down below. I don't know if you give a hoot about quilting, but I've mentioned you, so I'm linking you. This pink is named after her. Beautiful coral. I love this one. I actually bought a piece of cross-stitching fabric in this color recently. Then we've got this sort of peachy color. Lovely yellow. It's such a pretty yellow. And then this sort of light limey green, very light limey green. Grassy green. Sort of sky blue, turquoise. It's very light blue. This one's fun. It's very, like, the contrast between how light it is and then the accent color is super pretty. It reminds me of marble. And then this one is my favorite. And so I know the name of this one. This one's Fairy Moon. I love it. It's this beautiful, like, blue periwinkle purple. So pretty. So yeah, this was such a fabulous surprise. I gasped, I screamed, I died. It's beautiful. Thank you so much, Amy. I can't wait to find a project for this. Of course, you'll be the first person I tell once I do. And then I'll show you guys just how wonderful they look in a quilt. So the only haul that I got this month that wasn't quilt show haul was the backing of my cocktail hour quilt. Everything else came from the quilt show. So let's get into it. It's not as much as you think. It's a good amount, but it's not as much as you think. So hang on tight. The first booth you see when you walk into the quilt show has this massive array of beautiful rainbow fat quarters all laid out for you to drool over. And I always stop there. And I got a ton of them from the Fat Quarter Queen. So I got this lovely green and matching red. This beautiful navy. It's got kind of starry foresty print. This lovely feather print blue. And then these four are all the same print, just different colors. So we've got this light, very light purple, a darker tone of purple, pink, teal, and then dark pink. Beautiful. So I've got a cream and silver stripe, a cream and gold kind of speckle, a darker cream and gold, very Art Deco print, and then this beautiful sort of like mottled purple. Then I stopped by the So Kind of Wonderful booth. I had already purchased this pattern from So Kind of Wonderful. I was just drawn to the shape of it. And then this one, you can actually make 4 different variations of the quilt. But I was stupid because I did not get the rulers. You need specialty rulers for So Kind of Wonderful's patterns sometimes. And then the rulers, the types of rulers are here listed at the bottom. I need 2, this one and this one. So I stopped by the booth so I could purchase that. And then I also got this pattern while I was there. This is called, this one is called 70s and Sunny or Sunny Rays, depending on which layout you do. And then this one is Metro Medallion. And you can see it needs one of those rulers. So I got those rulers. So the way they described it to me is the color of the circle on the front of the pattern coordinates to the color of the circle on the front of the ruler. So it's very easy. So I got the 2 rulers that go with it. So now I'm prepared to make both of these. I also stopped by the Fiberworks booth, which is Laura Heine's company. She's the one who does the collage quilting, or she's one of the quilters who does collage quilting. I have made 3 of her quilts so far. I've got at least 1 more pattern in my stash, and then I went and bought another one. And this one is it. This is Fairy Ring. Isn't it so beautiful? I gotta tell you, the photo here doesn't do it justice. I did get a photo of it when I was in the booth, so I'll insert that here, see if there's a difference. Honestly, seeing it in person was just so much more impressive. So we get this beautiful fairy laid out with some flowers in her hands, and then she's surrounded by mushrooms and dragonflies and flowers and just, oh, so pretty. So I bought this one. And fun fact, Laura Heine was there and she was running the register. So I actually bought this literally from Laura Heine. And I told her that I was a fan and she was like, cool. She was not as impressed with me as I was with her, I'll tell you that much. But I've got this to add to my collection. I'm very excited about it. I also stopped by a booth called From My Heart to Your Hands, which sells a lot of more Civil War reproductions and Civil War style applique quilts and samplers and whatnot. And I purchased this sampler here. This is called Oak Hill Farm, a sampler quilt. And I had actually seen this quilt last year, and it was very impressive when I saw it in person. Originally, it was sold as a kit, but I just wanted the pattern. I'm on a sampler high right now. I don't know what it is about samplers, but they are really doing it for me at the moment. So I got this one. Now my plan is not to do the Civil War repros. I want to do this one in batiks, like darker jewel tone batiks. And I think that would be so pretty. So I'm very excited about this. This is obviously a ton of half square triangles. And a lot of these pieces are teeny tiny. Like this little sawtooth border around here, teeny, teeny, tiny. Some of these blocks are 3-inch blocks. So those are little baby half square triangles. But it's going to be stunning. Can you see it? Can you visualize the jewel tone batiks? So here's a little card from the booth that they gave me. So you can see a little bit more of kind of like what sort of stuff they had on display. See lots of applique. Very cute stuff. And then there's the website down there. I will have it linked down below. So with that in mind, one of the next booths I went to was Country Keepsakes, because they had a ton of fat quarters in batiks. So I went through there. I bought a bunch of them. I have some, but I definitely need to flesh out my collection, especially since I have a certain like color way or color palette in mind. So I'm going to be collecting some batiks for a while. But I got a bunch of batik fat quarters from their booth, the Country Keepsakes booth. So I'll show those to you now. So this is kind of the color palette I'm thinking, like deeper, beautiful greens and ruby reds, sort of ambery gold, browns, purples. And then I have these. And so I'm going to need contrasting colors for that fabric, or excuse me, for that pattern. And so I kind of like these kind of lighter, creamier colors for those. Right? I think that was a good chunk. We're almost done, guys. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you, I'm only going to talk about briefly because it's more cross-stitch related. So I'm going to touch on it more in my floss tube video. So if you're curious about it, go check it out there. So I stopped by a booth that I had seen at the quilt show before called So Exquisite. Here is their card. And it's a it says So Exquisite, a home industry development project of the Love One Another Foundation. So this is a booth that sells products that were stitched by women in Malaysia, I believe. I think it's Malaysia. It might be Indonesia. I will have the correct location in the screen. These women stitch in hand various cross-stitch projects, and then their projects are sold in the US, and the money goes back to them to help them support their families. So one of the big sellers there at their booth are these little dudes here. These are little ornaments. They're little, you can't see it, but at the top of both of them, there's like a little ribbon hanger. You can kind of see that one folded down. And they're all, look at this little guy. So cute. So I'll insert a picture of like the giant bins of them that we dug through. And then I also got a picture of some of the ladies that were featured on their wall next to an advent calendar that was made with these little dudes. They also had on the back walls, I didn't get any photos of it, fully stitched giant projects of lavender lace fancy ladies, Nora Corbett, Mirabilia fancy ladies. There was a beautiful dimensions kit that was fully stitched, and I'm just so, I think it's so cute, the idea of this foundation. Very sweet that, you know, these ladies get to stitch. Like, what a way to make a living. These ladies get to stitch these little products. They come over to us and we are able to help them support their families in a country that is obviously not very wealthy. So on the backs of these little guys, there's a little card. It says, "Thank you for your part in the So Exquisite Home Industry Development Project of the Love One Another Foundation. The purchase of this handcrafted item helps provide needed employment and training in communities of Southeast Asia." And then look, they're signed by the stitcher. Isn't that so stinking cute? Oh my God, I love it. So I'll talk more about this and show more about it in my Flossie video. So if you're curious, go watch that. But if you want to check out this foundation, of course, I will have their website linked down below so you can see all their products. Okay, that's it for my update. As far as plans go for the next update, I'm just going to keep going, you know. I don't know how far I'm going to get with this, if I'm going to have the top finished and pieced together. I don't know. I'm not going to hold myself to it. I'm going to try and just keep going on all the things, all the different quilts that I had started. The only hard plan that I want to make for myself is to have the two that I'm taking to my long armor fully finished for the update. Everything else is just bonus. So that's it for this month's update. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for sticking around. I truly appreciate it. If you have any questions at all, shoot me a comment, shoot me an email. I've got my email listed in the description box. Reach out to me on Instagram. You can message me there, or you can comment on the update pictures that I post there. So yeah, thank you so much for everything, you guys. If this is where you're signing off, I appreciate you being here, truly. If you celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Yule, any of those holidays in the coming months, my wish for you is that they are happy and lovely and wonderful. So I'll see you again, hopefully, you know, at the end of December. For the rest of you who are curious about my quilt show visit, I am going to insert everything. I got mostly photos. There's a little bit of footage, but not really. It's mostly photos. So if you want to see a slideshow of all the spectacular, amazing quilts that we saw at the quilt show, hang out for another minute or two and you'll see everything there. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Other than that, guys, I'm walking out the door here. I gotta go get my quilts to my long armor. So thank you so much, and I will catch up with you guys again at the end of December, at the end of 2023. Oh my God. Alrighty, you guys have an excellent quilty month, creative month, and I will see you guys at the end of the year. Bye.